Thanks, Peggy. So we seem to be back in the world now of 2019, where capacity is the number one issue. But we're not quite in 2019 because we've gone through a pandemic, we're in a new era of uncertainty. What does that mean for an ANSP operations department?
Well, it's quite difficult for us right now because there's a lot of volatility in the traffic. What we see, the focus is now especially capacity because as you all know, we hear from everywhere there is a lack of capacity into the network. But on the other hand, it's the environment as well. In the beginning it was, or we have to choose to capacity or an environment, which is not the case anymore. We have to work together and to look how we can incorporate the environment into optimization of the capacity. It is not a negative thing that if the capacity raises that we lower the environment. If we are offering direct routings, if we are offering PPN approaches, if we are offering CDOs, which are really operational aspects, there we can also optimize and increase the capacity and also optimize the environment at the same time.
But there are two different pressures. One is a political pressure and one is an operational pressure that comes from the airlines. So do all those stakeholders understand the complexities of these pressures and where that leads ANSPs?
It's not easy to let them understand. It's quite complex for an ANSP because for other stakeholders, the environment is the biggest focus, but for the airlines, especially capacity and also cost, reducing the cost. So we are really in a very different world right now, and we try to find a balance between all those three aspects together. So, but it's quite difficult for on the political side of view. So to understand that if you only focus on environment, that's not enough. If you have to accommodate the capacity at the same time.
But do you see any positive signs that individual stakeholders are understanding the views, the challenges of other stakeholders sitting in the same room? Is there any kind of improved relationship there?
Yes, I think so. I think it needs some time, to be honest. I think we have to explain what are the environmental benefits if you are going to implement something like free route airspace. But what is really important that they use it. We are offering a certain network of direct routings which are optimizing the environment, but the stakeholders have to use it as well, which is not always the case. So we are trying to accommodate that and offering them a new network and a new platform so we can improve also the capacity and the environment.
It seems to me that ANSPs are in a very unfair position because they're being attacked from all sides by politicians, by all sorts of people, because they are seen as an easy win for the environment. If you improve the air traffic management system, you'll get a 6-7% increase in growth. And it's a lot more complicated than that, isn't it? So what's the message when people say to you, why aren't you doing more on the environment?
We all have to work together. That's the message, the biggest message, because we are one team and everybody has to bring his input into the whole system. Because as an ANSP, we cannot do it alone, but the airlines have to work as well. The CFSPs has to work with us, and the network manager have to work as well. So it's one, and the airlines, of course, because it's one whole big family, and we also have to understand what are the benefits and the needs from each other. And of course, we have the military colleagues as well. They also need some airspace. So it's not easy for us, but we don't like to be the black sheep. On the other hand, we are doing a lot of efforts from an ANSP side, but we're trying to get them involved and understand what kind of things that we are implementing, but we have to work all together.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.